It had been a tedious day at the office, dealing with some very annoying people. So Gloria had been looking forward to a long soak in a nice, hot, perfumed bath. As she buzzed herself into her apartment building, she noticed a very strange smell coming from the hallway. Her curiosity piqued. She followed her nose to the stairwell, where she stumbled upon a gruesome sight. A seemingly lifeless body lay sprawled on the ground, blood pooling around it. Shock and panic set in as Gloria realized the victim was her neighbor. What on earth had happened? This was clearly not a self-inflicted injury. And his eyes had that horrible, glassy nature to them that she had seen in so many detective programs. Ought she to approach the body and see if he was still alive? Oh, Lord! How would she avoid getting her feet covered in blood? And would she be messing up the crime scene? And if it wasn't self-inflicted, could the perpetrator still be around? She knew she really ought to call the police. Now, urgently scrabbling through her handbag, her hands trembled so much that she fumbled with her phone, and it seemed to take forever for the operator to pick up. When they finally answered, Gloria struggled to compose herself enough to explain the situation. Thank goodness, the authorities were on their way. But what should she do while she waited? Who could have done this? Was it someone who lived in the building, or a complete stranger? She racked her brain trying to remember anything unusual she had seen or heard in the days leading up to the murder. The whole thing was deeply disturbing, and the arrival of the police only heightened her anxiety as they swarmed the building, questioning neighbours and combing through evidence. Gloria couldn't shake the feeling that the killer was still out there, possibly watching and waiting. Would it be her turn next? Despite the police's best investigative efforts, days turned into weeks and weeks turned into months. But still, no suspect was found. The once friendly block of flats had turned into a place of suspicion and fear, with neighbour avoiding neighbour. Gloria couldn't bear to carry on living like this. Something had to be done. She had noticed one person. He always seemed to be on edge and would often sneak out of his flat late at night. So, she decided to follow him one evening, determined she must get to the bottom of things. Gloria trailed him through the city streets, her heart thudding with adrenaline. She tried to be inconspicuous, keeping a distance from him, stopping when he stopped, looking in shop windows along the way. I'm no PI, she thought. And then he quickly nipped down an alleyway. Stealthily, she crept up to the corner. As carefully as possible, she peered round to see what he was up to. Oh, good grief! That's a shady bunch of characters if ever I saw one. They exchanged harsh words. Gloria felt a chill run down her spine as she realized that what she was witnessing was a drug deal. Deciding discretion was the better part of valor, she very carefully and discreetly took a photograph of the dodgy-looking group, making sure she had turned off the automatic flash. And then she scurried away home as fast as her legs would carry her, her heart pounding all the way. Once safely inside her flat, doors firmly bolted, she got straight on the phone to the police. She told them of her evening's expedition, what she thought she'd witnessed, and the photograph she'd obtained of her suspects. It turned out the police had also been making progress. It just hadn't been obvious to the rest of them. In fact, Her murdered neighbour had stumbled upon the same illicit activity she had and had been killed to keep him from talking. Gloria's testimony and photograph helped the police apprehend the killer and put an end to the dangerous drugs ring. Although she had put herself in harm's way, Gloria felt a great sense of pride and relief, knowing that the scumbags had been locked up and justice had been served.